Sorry, thanks, Tarsky. that whole that whole introduction is gone. How are you doing today, Tarsky? That was funny. Rid of IO bit. Let's open the last. I gotta get used to checking all that stuff. Again, I usually don't mute my mic, but I'm trying to get into a better habit of just doing it. How was your day, bud? Looking at this array container class, we wanted to create an array based off the inputs that were given. But when we come into create array, this becomes a set variable. So we know this isn't going to be able to work because we're not going to be able to dynamically create arrays. So let's just move on past this idea. It was an idea. It sucks that it's not going to work. It's a grocery shopping day. Mom was pooped out tired. How's your mom recovering? Is she still doing okay?
I'm done with bullshit. At this point, I'm merely amused. 22, checking in, it's like a yearly review. I ain't making no commitments unless I'm seeing it through. And that shit ain't always easy to do. Nah, it ain't easy to. Another year alive, pushing my dreams, finding balance while I'm looking at screens. I look out for the team, caretaker, never doubt the regime. I built a following off loyalty without a machine. Make my coffee, throw a beat on. Go get what I'm something we agreed on. They said it wouldn't be long. That's besides the point. I'm finally feeling like I
come into our blueprints.
That's the type of shit that we on. I'm sick of stressing about these
Is it our buddy mastermind? Is that what we made last time? Good, I'm glad she's good to go. Glad to hear that. I was praying for her.
Everything is handled, please, one at a time. Take a break, no, I'm here for the ride. Now let it slide. Let it slide. Yeah. I've been putting out these hits, motherfucker. Who you think that I am? It's Mr. Always Overcome when on the brink of a jam. I'll be damned if I don't ever have the power.
I don't think Buddy Mastermind is what I think it is. I think I forgot I made Buddy Mastermind. Anytime. Anytime. What did I name it? All right. We're rolling with it. It's all we can do. Let me adjust this. Back in full screen. And let's rename this. Of course. You know, I went down a rabbit hole the other day of people's opinions on how many windows you should have open when you how many screens do you need when you're making games, and how many windows you should have open. I think I'm liking the single window setup more than I like the dual window setup. Call this group AI manager. It's one of those silly things software developers tend to do. There's a whole thing on tabs versus spaces too. Because when you're writing your code, you have to have indentation so we can read it better as people. The indentation does not matter to the computer, but all this enemies. And we already got patrol path. We don't need buddies ready. I would like you to take an input. So patrol path is exposed at spawn. Enemies does not need to be exposed at spawn because we're going to be responsible for creating our own enemies. So we'll go ahead and remove that. Now we need to add our methods. What do we need? So the reason for creating these in the event graph as custom events is because you can't add delays in functions. So I'm assuming for the sake of flow control and execution, it's gonna be a case by case basis, right? But for the creation, I think the creation needs to be a custom event. Just call this create enemies. Update this. We're really trying to get our documentation right this time. And we'll throw in a spawn. What do we want? I think we want spawn actor from class. We don't need to spawn an AI. And the class is going to be base enemy. And the transform. This is what we need. We could we pass in our let me try something real quick. I'm back to where I was stuck.
I'll be honest, I've been waiting for you to statements of tension in the air. Picking fights just
Okay, so there is a way to do this. We need to create a struct class.
cause we play these games like nothing's changed, but we're not the same. Let's stop acting like it's so good when it's not. Are you so sick of always faking, darling? Can't pay us to let to fuck on you. No, I'm right, it's time.
While I'm doing this reading, just give me a second. So structs or use structs are data structures that help you organize, manipulate related properties. By using structs, you can create custom variable types, help you organize your project. Okay, so we actually gotta have C++ installed to do this.
Let's stop acting like it's so good when it's not. Are you so sick of always faking, darling? Can't pay us
And of course, I don't have Visual Studio installed anymore. Open the header file where you want to define your struct. Add the generated body macro to the top of the script. You can now tag this with U property to make them visible. Smart pointer garbage collection. Okay, that's good. What I'm debating is, can I Can I, make an array that contains a struct that contains the internal array? You would think Unreal would support nested arrays by this point. There's plenty of uses for nested arrays. That's one of the first things I learned when I was in college. Java class. We learned arrays pretty on, and then we learned nested arrays immediately after. Say use a map. You need to control an index and variable or reference to an array. Oh, or a reference to an array. The variable of the map can be another array or struct. How did this person figure it out? Okay, they found a workaround. So apparently we can do this with according to one person, we can do this with a map. So let's try to do this with a map. See what we get. Call this a map. Texture 2D array. Okay, I got this. I got this. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Let's come back to our utilities folder. Let's hope this works. And of course I must have deleted the utilities folder. Animation. Let's create a blueprint class that's an actor, and we'll say you have an array of vectors. Call this patrol points. And then we're gonna have a couple of functions. And this is gonna take in it's gonna be a vector. Then you're gonna get patrol points. But the rain only falls on the fortunate. Wake up calls needed more of them. I'm sick of scribbling against the wall and feeling all kinds of awkward in public before performances. My mind's filling up with the sauce like the portion is. It's all time to get with the program. Enough with the slow. Add an item to an array. Disconnect with the coke gang. Rough on the nose gang. I fell in love with my own sound. Now it's so far. That's all you need to do. I don't think we need to do anything else. I think we just need the append to array. And then when we, well, first of all, let's update our documentation. Because I think this is actually going to work, which excites me. What do we name this? We name this patrol points array. And we only have one method in it. Append to array, which takes a vector. Plain and simple. Ooh. Moving too fast for my own good. And then we So when we're making our level blueprint, we should be able to take our patrol paths and add them to the patrol points array object that we've created, and that way in our group AI manager, this can go back to being an array of references to that object. And make this an array of patrol point arrays. There we go. And of course that does need to be exposed on spawn. So we'll say, when we're making our enemies, we'll say we'll do a for each loop with these patrol path types. And then you're gonna get that array element, and you're gonna say get, I believe it's called patrol path points. And you're gonna feed that into base enemy. I don't think base enemy needs to know who its buddies. No, because the group manager needs to maintain all of that. So I'll leave buddies alone for now. And that is all you had to do. I think that makes sense. So on event begin play, first thing we're gonna do is create enemies. Ah! I hate it when that happens. Sometimes the old engine force closes on us. Let's go ahead and restore. That's okay, it happens. It's no biggie, Tarsky. Alright, there's gotta be a way to make it stop reopening these old assets in a separate window. If I want it to just be... Yeah, we didn't lose too much. I guess we did lose a little bit. Yeah, we didn't lose too much. Good. Made that patrol points array. Change the variable type. Close out of that. Hit the for each loop. I need to upgrade my graphics card here pretty soon. It's becoming more and more apparent. And also just for like the quality of content I want to make. But that's gonna have to wait till after our trip to Japan. Let's say get patrol paths. What's the arrow? So you need to place HD iris display. I don't know the most about displays, but I think I remember hearing MKBHD say iris displays are really good. So I think so. I think so. What we want to do is we want to get a reference location at 0. We can go ahead and split the struct pin, connect that there. That should take care of that. Are you allowed to add a return? What does this do? Creates a new component and assigns ownership to the actor. This is called automatic attachment. Causes first. Okay, no, that's not what. So off of begin play, we call create enemies. And then where do we go from here? We already have assigned patrol path. We want to destroy? Sure, we can destroy. If we can create, we can destroy enemy AI. We don't need to connect it to anything yet, but we can do it. So, we would need, sorry. I'm pretty tired. Destroy. I'm not sure if the group AI manager should be responsible for destroying enemies as much as it should just be aware that an enemy is gone. So you're definitely going to take an input And that input is going to be enemy to destroy. Yeah, Tarsi. Did you get a laptop that was all souped out? Top of the line bells and whistles or what? We gotta remove. And I believe I have a script somewhere that destroys enemies. Because you're not actually destroying it. I don't think I actually like destroy the enemy. Might be in my... Where is it? Whoops. Went refurbished and got a pretty good deal, I think. But it's so different from one game to another. Yeah. Refurbished is never a bad idea, in my opinion. Oh, man. But that's also how my desktop PC is. Like, it really surprises me that my desktop PC can handle pretty much every game I've thrown at it, but for some reason Mass Effect is too much. Like the first Mass Effect, when I was just having all those issues with the stream stuttering. So there is a little bit of variation there. The AI. It's an enemy AI controller. That might be what I was looking for. So yeah, destroy AI controller when enemy is knocked out. We unpossess. We disable the tick. And then we set auto destroy when finished. Where is this called? Find references. Really? That's gotta be called somewhere. Is what I'm looking for find in blueprints? Is it Control Shift F? Alt Shift F? Control Shift F. Let's do find in blueprints. Enemy dead. I knew it was being called somewhere. So we got base enemy. And base enemy deal damage. So since we do one hit knockouts, you can run. What's MELE? Mass Effect Legendary Edition and Red Dead 2, no problem. But then I try to run Fortnite on it, and after turning down all the video settings, I still drop frames. It's gotta be. Well, actually, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. That is, like, as great as gaming on PC is, those things tend to happen all the time. Games aren't always optimized for the setup that you have, which is unfortunate. Even the highest end gaming PC has issues like that. Where's deal damage being called? I believe deal damage is being called from third person character, which is what we expect. So we don't actually need to destroy the enemy. We just need to remove it from the array. We'll add some more connections there later. Assign group. I guess we should be assigning groups. I'm not sure how I want to assign groups yet. Also, we need to figure out there's a couple of things we need to figure out. There's a few things we need to figure out. I'm just sleepy. One at a time, though. One at a time. Let's hit assign group. What's the best way to handle assigning a group? I'm debating. I'm thinking assigning groups might be better done by hand instead of doing it dynamically. So I guess doing it, just managing it statically would be to I don't want to do this. So to manage it statically, it would be each individual AI in a level has its own groups. Let me come back to that. Let me get our I could use some scratch paper right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this level a little bit. I'm gonna set up a way that I can quickly and easily make sure everything is going as expected. So I did make this before. So we're gonna do path 2. Thanks, Tarsky. And give me path 4. Just make it all the way down here. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create 4 just sample paths. And first let's make one AI just walk up and down these paths. What's the Y value we're going with? 1187. Let's get them aligned perfectly. And then we can Control copy, Control V. And we can move these to a folder. Called path 2. Let's unnest. Come on, I really just want to. Why can't I? Come on, just let me unnest. Come on, bro. There we go. Alright, so we got two, probably a little bit too close to each other. Spread them out a little bit. And what I would do is I would come into our level blueprint. What is happening here? So you're calling define paths. What's define paths? Define path is a variable that you already have. And then you were going to assign those paths. So what we would do is we would call define paths. That one patrol path 1. That one actually looks fine. We would select all of patrol path 2. And we would come into our level blueprint. Right click, create references. Do this again. What we're gonna do is we're gonna say, well, let me spawn in a function. Spawn an actor from class. Patrol points array. Can I say create? Oops. This doesn't necessarily need to be spawned anywhere in the world. So we can just split that struct pin. That should get rid of that failure. And then this is supposed to be exposed on spawn and instance editable. Oh man. Just gotta do a little bit more today. File. Okay, so I think patrol points array might be obsolete if we no, it's not it's not obsolete.
Sunshine and rainbows. I've been feeling good, yeah, you know that it's true. Yeah, that'll work. Sunshine and rainbows. I've been feeling good, yeah, you know that it's true. You say that you love me, baby, what you tryna do? We can see the world every day, me and you. Sunshine and rainbows. I've been feeling good, yeah, you know that it's true. You say that you love me.
What if I
baby,
set
what you
patrol
tryna do?
path 1?
Every day is sunshine and rainbows. I've been looking good, trying to hit the main goals.
Duplicate
Take a trip
this.
out to the beach, just see where the day goes.
Patrol
Put a
path
smile on
2.
my face. Yeah, I feel it. Lost in the sauce,
Oops.
like I made a couple millions. Broke with an attitude, girl, you acting basic. If I told you that I love you, then you need not just a trip. Different than your average, I'm not here to hit and quit. You a queen if you hang around. Real love, let a youngin' come and hold you down. If I make it, then the team was that's including you. Work so
Whoops.
hard, I'm graduating on this.
Then what we need to do
They can't touch me 'cause they never see it through. Sunshine and rain.
is
I've been feeling good, yeah, you know that.
because going back to our group AI manager, create enemy AIs.
Sunshine and rainbows. I've been
We have an array of patrol paths,
You say that you love me, baby,
so we need this.
yeah. Hold me close, let your spirit catch a youngin' like the Holy Ghost. I got so much on my plate and I just doubled up. That's what it takes if you gon' really do the most. Be a star, now you shining on your ex, running numbers. Yeah, I'm stunting, watch me flex, that's just the way it goes. They don't wanna see you broken in the trenches, out here working on your image, sharing love with all your peeps. Well, I ain't really with it. Everyone's invited.
I'm kind of getting lost in the sauce here.
And even Uncle Greg that got a hidden bottle in his shorts. Yeah, he gone up out the hand, but he found. And nothing breaks a bond you always had. Sunshine and rainbow.
But here's what I think.
Feeling good, yeah, you know that it's true. You say that
Oops.
you love me, baby, what you tryna do? We can see the world every day, me and you. Hey,
Paths
sunshine
array
and rainbows.
object.
I've been feeling good, yeah, you know that it's true. You say that you love me, baby, what you tryna do? We can see the world every day, me and you.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go.
I've been feeling good, yeah. I've been feeling so good. I've been feeling good, hey. I've been feeling so good. I've been feeling good, yeah. Ooh. Celebrate with me. Celebrate with me, man. Today's a good day. I hope you feeling good too.
Here we go.
Yeah, you talking out. Got a whole lot of words falling out. Yeah, run your mouth. Take you hold, deep you go, baby, go and show yourself. Play your game, I'll be patiently wait until time runs out. Getting close now. All the stories that you tell.
Let's make an array.
Imagination. And you should tell 'em about where you've been, who you're with, yeah, okay then. You go ahead and
Let's say set patrol points.
yeah, go
We'll call this
Let's see another excuse.
patrol path 1.
Do you hear yourself?
Got all these unnecessary variables.
Would you give it up? What's your name? Is it love? Just a phase? No, I'll keep it up. You were at your mother's, your brother's, whatever. I've had enough.
Patrol path 1.
Finish up.
And let's duplicate.
All the stories that you tell, what a beautiful
Patrol path 2.
and you should tell 'em about
Thanks, Tarsky. Glad you're being entertained at the very least.
you go ahead.
Interested at the very least. Skip patrol path 2. Let's set target. Oops. Set patrol points for that. And then let's make an array. get these two. Let's make an array of these. Add a pin, please. Then so that's defining the paths. First, you're going to define the paths, which should happen relatively quickly, but we're just going to... This is the issue. This is the issue with doing stuff in functions, because we don't want that to finish too early. So what we'll do, we just get all this. So define paths is now going to be a custom event. We don't need define path. We don't need that. So now custom, can't type tonight. I was gonna say I can't type when I'm tired, but I can barely type when I am tired, when I am awake. Call this define paths. And after define paths is done, well, when we begin play, we call define paths. And after we've defined those paths, we call make we call spawn enemies. Or this used to be a custom event. We'll call it We'll call it init AI. Init AI manager. Pull this off here. So doing it like this, we're gonna call define paths, and then define path is gonna execute before init AI manager. So it keeps everything sequential. But you want to spawn actor from class, and this is gonna be the group AI manager. And then this, there we go. We did it. We did it. We found a workaround for an array of arrays. Word, man. That should work. Just split this transform because it's not actually going to exist in the world. It's just the thing that we need actively running. GG indeed. And this is a decent framework for, like, yes, this is just the beginning of the level, but when we have a level defined up into multiple parts, that's not all loaded in at once. This should be repeatable when we trigger it with a box trigger. But I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. We are back. Okay. Need to test that everything works as expected. But there's a couple other things we need to fix before we can really start testing. But I guess we can check and see. Is this at the very least spawning AI? It's not a good sign. It's never a good sign when it crashes. Yes, please restore. Okay, how much work did we lose? Need the level blueprint. Where's the level blueprint? I don't think we lost anything. If I try to simulate it again and it breaks, we just know something is broken. Yep. None of that makes any sense to me. So we'll try to figure it out other ways. It's gotta be something. It's gotta be something that I just added. I know that much. So when this happens, we can simply go line by line, well, point by point. Like we'll break the link here, and we will see what happens. So that's not where we're failing. And then we'll connect this, but we'll break the link here. I'm guessing this is what's causing us to fail. Maybe it's because I'm going about this wrong. Maybe I don't need to be spawning that in world. Group AI manager ref. And we'll call this group AI manager. No default value, but you should have something exposed on spawn. Patrol paths. You are instance editable, you're not read-only, you're not private, so why aren't you showing up? here in our level blueprint. Okay, now I'm confused. Now we're confused. How can we figure this out? Maybe Group AI Manager is not of the right class. That's always a possibility. Just doing a little bit of research. This looks like one of those things that's just difficult. While it is true, one thing that I found to be true about learning game development on my own, while it is true that there's a wealth of knowledge, a lot of that knowledge is straight up like tutorials on how to do specific things, right? So when you come across something that's not covered in a tutorial that requires a little bit more like abstract thinking for your unique situation, it's kind of hard to find exactly what you need, which is, I think, a good thing. Shows that you're tackling some stuff that's a little bit more complex. Almost everything you can need to know is buried somewhere in a 2-hour long controller, or a 2-hour long tutorial. Okay. More questions for Unreal Engine. UE4 AI controller. What is an AI controller? The AI controller observes the world around it and makes decisions and reacts accordingly without human input. While the player controller relies on the human player to make decisions, the AI controller is more focused on responding to input from the environment and game world. Excuse me. The job of the AI controller is to observe the world around it and react accordingly. So while I was reading, I had an interesting thought. What if instead of making a whole separate thing to making an AI group manager, what if we just grouped together a bunch of AI and made one of them the manager? That's how it works with people, right? You get a group of employees, one of them becomes the manager over all the employees. So we could just do that instead. And that would add an interesting bit of complexity where if the player takes out the group coordinator, everything becomes much easier to do. Oh man, I just accidentally closed out of a bunch of stuff. Dadgummit. Do it to it. It's potential. It's potential.
Something about you, you know I crave your touch, but we don't need to rush. There's something about you, immersed inside my mind.
So I think our group AI manager needs to become a group AI controller, because looking at our enemy AI controller, what you do is let me look at base enemy real quick. On event begin play, set the skeletal mesh, set the material, set the animation that you're going to be using. But, however, comma, you just have a class that is AI controller class. If I look at enemy AI controller, what are your defaults?
Listen, is a sign, 'cause it's
This might be too complex for what I can actually do. It's a matter of figuring out where to actually put this stuff. So every AI controller has a behavioral tree. And that behavioral tree tells it what information to take in and what to do with it. And so the AI controller is really just listening, receiving input from the world, and reacting accordingly. So no, I think I like the group AI manager the way it is. What are you asking? But is the manager coordinator figure hidden to the player? Or I mean, is it like recognizable different uniform? So the way that I have it right now, it's hidden to the player. It's not even actually in the world. But if I were to make one AI control all the other AIs, it would be visible in the world and it would have its own unique uniform. It would be identifiable. Kind of sounds like that might be the way to do it. It's just a matter of how do I do it. It kind of so with the way things are set up now, I was going for a very centralized model, meaning all the information gets reported to one place, no matter what. Hey, what's going on, D4? Welcome in, bud. I know it's weird, but we just gotta get the marketing and presentation down. I think keeping the game development stuff on its own separate platform is a good thing for now. But I don't know because the game development stuff is so different from the actual gaming content and the gaming news. I thought separating it out would be the way to go, but if I'm being honest, I'm not sure. So we're testing some things out, you know what I mean? How you been, bud? Congratulations on the rookie run. I'm sure as you can see, I am about ready to fall asleep, so I'm about to go ahead and cut the stream. I gotta be honest, I don't know if I'm streaming tomorrow or not. I think I might take a week off. I need some time to regenerate my creative juices. So I might not be back until next week over on Twitch. But it's a good thing though. It's a good thing to be a little tired. Just a little tired. Yeah, I'm gonna go get some rest, y'all. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching the stream. I appreciate each and every one of you. It's love you too, D4. It's been a pleasure as usual. Take care, y'all. Peace.